I want to be an author. That's like my biggest goal. Let's talk about how I'm doing that.
Hey,
Nope. Hello, welcome to today's video. I'm not really sure if I've shared this a whole lot, like on my channel, like as an actual thing. I know I've mentioned, like in my last video when I was talking about where I want to be in the next 5 years, I did mention my interest in becoming an author, which has kind of been a pretty lifelong dream for me. I feel like at the very least over half my life I've wanted to write a book and be an author, and I've finally kind of figured out a process that seems to be working for me. I'm not done yet, but I have made significant strides in progress towards my novel over the last year or so. I mean, I've been working on all of this for like ever, but yeah. So step 1 is world building, which is a step that I come back to all the time. I feel like I'm never done world building because I'm just really, I like to get really detailed about everything. So eventually I got to the point where it's like, okay, I've been working on building this world for over 10 years. I have vague ideas of story stuff. I should just get into actually writing, and the rest of the world building can kind of be filled out as needed. So I do come back to it a lot, but that's where everything starts, is the world. The world and the characters. And then step 2 is my outline / timeline, where I kind of do like, all right, here's a timeline of everything that happens for the characters, and then the actual outline for the story, like, all right, what actually happens in the story, what things happen before or after that can be alluded to. And then, so my rough draft for the novel that I'm currently working on is in my notebook here. So I've got about 21 chapters outlined. So this is the like meaty outline. I have a less meaty one online, but I like to write on paper. So there's that. There's more of that, but I'm not going to go through and show you every single page of my notebook. And then after the outline comes this part, my rough draft, which is written on folded up pieces of paper that I can keep in my pocket with me at most times. Sometimes written on these like little W.B. Mason notebooks. This is a draft that I do not care about. It is written in play format, as my boyfriend has pointed out, though the final novel will not be, but for some reason it's just easier for me to begin my writing that way. And I just always have paper on me, and I'm always working on that rough draft. If I don't have paper, then I'm writing in my notes app. And then next is the first edit, which it also goes in this notebook, which is just kind of like I polish up this draft. I edit out things that don't quite make sense or don't work, and I write it in more of an actual novel format. So yeah, it's a bit of just reading through it and tweaking it, because the part about this rough draft as well is it is written out of order. I literally like have a chapter in here somewhere that happens in the middle of the book, and I wrote it like ending first and then the beginning and then the middle, so I wrote it all out of order, and then they all go on here, and I just write whatever I think of, and then I go through for that first edit, and it gets put into here in chronological order befitting the outline / timeline that was originally written. So it's written where like there's a single paragraph for each chapter, and then I take one of these paragraphs and I write several pages about that paragraph. And I also will take the paragraph apart, and like there's like written on here, there's like a beginning, middle, end for each of those paragraphs that like turn it into 3 different scenes. So each chapter consists of 3 scenes, like the beginning, the middle, and the end. So yeah, that first edit is pulling everything in cohesively and then making a few tweaks here and there so it makes a little more sense cohesively. And then the second edit is I will go through, and I am really fast at typing without looking at my phone. I don't know if that's a brag. My aunt used to like say that she thought my phone was gonna catch on fire because I can type very quickly, very accurately, all without looking at my phone. So what I do is I go through and I read these. I read the first edit, and I type it with my thumb while I'm reading it through here. And that is the second edit. Basically, it's just turning it from paper to text. I try to make very minimal edits between those 2 sections, unless I have to, just because it makes it a little easier to get it from paper to text. And then the third edit is going to be proofreading or doing any other further editing that I have noted along my like process, because I have a lot of notes in here to myself of like, oh, make sure this happens, or maybe try to rewrite this scene in this way. So I have all those notes. So I go through with the third edit and I go through all those notes. I take anything that's in brackets and I give like solid fact to it, because I have a lot of world building stuff that I just put in brackets if I can't remember the information at that time, so that I know to come back to it and fill it in with the accurate information. And then I go on to the 4th edit, which is going to be proofreading, and hopefully by that point my novel will be done, but we will see. I hope you found this interesting. Since this actually has something to do with writing, I'm going to post it on my writing Tumblr blog as well, because I thought that might be a good way to get a little more traction in my channel, because I have, not to brag, but I have 96 followers on Tumblr, which I'm proud of. I think is an achievement. Speaking of which, not only do I have 96 followers on Tumblr, but I now have 71 followers here on YouTube, which is really exciting. And thank you if you watch my videos, if you watch them all the way through, or if you just come and see them for like a little bit, for like even a minute. Thank you. I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed this. I have a couple other YouTube video ideas. Some of them require me finishing reading books, which I'm dragging my feet about. But yeah, thanks. Bye. Thanks for coming to my video. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me if you came from Tumblr. Ask me any questions about writing. Tell me things you want to hear me talk about. Just do whatever. Thanks.